What do you know about the presidential fitness test?
I know that back in elementary school, I was always very, very embarrassed by it.
Real winners wear one of these.
What's that?
A country is as strong, really, as its citizens.
Grip swing puts muscles on the least athletic.
Advertising has us chasing cars and clothes, working jobs we hate so we can buy shit we don't need.
The number of obese children and teens is now 10 times higher than it was 40 years ago.
Being fat isn't a birth defect. Nobody comes out of the womb needing to buy 2 seats on the airplane.
If you were to close your eyes, what do you remember about the presidential fitness test?
In America today, many normally healthy children cannot pass a simple fitness test.
Is it running the mile?
It's gonna be St. Lucia's Julian Alfred!
Maximizing your pull-ups?
Pull up, dropping buckets.
Is it conquering your fitness goals?
Back to James! Oh, he throws it down!
Or is it something more like this?
I haven't even got a quarter mile yet. Oh God, I'm almost there.
Yeah, you're not alone. The presidential fitness test has loomed over students for a long time. Do you know any of the background or the history on the presidential fitness test?
No, I actually have absolutely no idea, but I'm assuming that it has to do with getting kids healthy. And probably, okay, I'm just assuming it has something to do with military recruitment.
All of you will join in a great national effort to build a strong and better America.
Michael was dead on. Why? Why do you assume that?
Because I feel like some general was like, we have a crisis. All these 18-year-olds aren't fit enough to join the military, and we need to be defense ready.
Drop and give me 20.
20 what?
The origination of the presidential fitness test started in the 1950s.
No wonder it's scarring all of us emotionally.
So in the 1950s, these two rock climbers decided that they just wanted to test the overall fitness of children in different countries. Their names were Krause and Pruden. So they administer what becomes known as the Krause-Weber tests. 58% of children within the US fail this test. Then when you compare that to European and Swiss kids, they only failed it 8% of the time.
What?
This freaked everyone out. They were terrified. And you know who was especially mortified?
The president.
John F. Kennedy writes this op-ed in which he says that Americans have grown weak, that they're overweight, and that they are no longer a strong nation. Now, does any of this sound kind of familiar?
Oh, it sounds very familiar. Have we been saying the same things for like 70 years now?
The reality is yes.
There is nothing, I think, more unfortunate than to have soft, chubby, fat-looking children.
In 1962, only months before he was assassinated, JFK launched a trial version of the presidential fitness test.
JFK started this?
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
The most popular fucking president ever is the one who started this terrible program.
It's funny because you're right. He is one of the most popular presidents and known for all of these great things. But children throughout generations have been cursing him and his creation.
This is a whole conspiracy. We've just cracked open a whole can of worms.
When he is assassinated, like so many of the things that JFK started, Lyndon B. Johnson finished it.
Lyndon B. Johnson finished the Vietnam War and the presidential fitness test. Dude's a finisher.
Another thing, the crotch down where your nuts hang is always a little too tight.
He took this and he spread it to the entire country. So the goal of this test was to make America stronger. The question is, are we the strongest generation yet?
Oh, are we? Wow, I didn't see that coming, in all honesty. Am I the test?
That's right. To prove whether or not the test was a success, Michael and I are going to take the presidential fitness test to see how we stack up against children from past generations. Michael and I are going to complete all 5 sections of the test. Then, at the end of this video, we're going to compare our results to see if either of us has what it takes to make our president proud. We're at the park. We're ready to do the President's Fitness Challenge. Michael, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling absolutely terrified.
The presidential fitness test is made up of 5 components: the mile, curl-ups, shuttle run, the V sit and reach, and pull-ups. First up, the mile.
Ready, go! Oh God, he's off to such a fast start.
Yeah, I kind of was crushing it.
So my strategy is I am going to sprint as hard as I can until I can't.
I think that may end up being a very bad strategy. It was, in fact, a terrible strategy.
Casey, you got off to a really fast start there. How are you feeling?
I'm losing steam.
You're losing steam?
Already. Makes me feel awful.
What? Describe it. Okay, don't describe it because you're out of breath.
It was at that moment that I realized how much harder the mile was than I remembered, and how out of whack my expectations were for myself.
What pace are you looking at?
10:55.
What pace were you hoping for?
Under 8 minutes. Not looking good. Where did I get that expectation of under 8 minutes? Well, I'll tell you. When I was competing in the presidential fitness test as a little kid, I had succeeded in every other part of the test. All I needed to win the presidential fitness test was a sub 8-minute mile, but I couldn't do it. I ran the mile over and over again trying to break 8 minutes, but it didn't happen. So here I am, years later, trying to make up for the failures of that little kid. And it's not going well.
What's our update?
I'm at 0.6 miles.
And what's your pace?
10:30.
And how you feeling?
The concept of putting out this video so that everyone on YouTube could see it was suddenly seeming like an awful idea. And I have a minute left to get my under 8-minute mile. It's not happening. It's not happening. I just hit 8 minutes. I lost. But you know what? We don't quit. It was in that moment that I realized I needed to change my priorities. Under 8 minutes just wasn't happening. But that didn't mean that this needed to be a failure, so I needed to dig deep. I'm done. I'm done. And that's a 10-minute, 35-second mile.
I beat you by 1 second?
Oh, right. I never told you how Michael did.
I haven't even got a quarter mile yet. Oh, God. I'm almost there.
The man who said he was most nervous about the mile
I am dreading the mile.
and got off to that slow start.
Go! Oh, God, he's off to such a fast start.
Yeah, he beat me.
I beat you by 1 second?
Yep, you beat me. How do you like them apples? But you know what? We're not here to compete against each other. We're here to compete against children from other generations, which means that we have more challenges. Next up, curl-ups. Oh, my side's cramping. Oh no, both of my pecs are cramping.
Oh. Ow. Ow.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. Curl-ups were the most uncomfortable of the challenges we did. So proper form for a curl-up is that you have to have both hands on each shoulder. Then when you go back, you have to lay it all the way down and then you curl all the way through. When I tell you that that is a deeply uncomfortable thing, believe me, or go try yourself. There are much better ways to improve your core. But with those done, it was time to move on to the shuttle run. And go! The shuttle run was pretty simple. You run from one line to the other, pick up a water bottle, and then you run back. You do that twice, and you're done. Honestly, it's pretty fun. Now, I've seen some reports of children getting injured from hyperextending during the shuttle run, but I couldn't really substantiate any of those claims, and for my part, while stopping suddenly to pick up the water bottle didn't feel great, I don't really think that there's a greater risk of injury with the shuttle run than, say, playing soccer with friends. As for the V-sit and reach, well, this is where the entire test falls apart for me. Okay, Michael, I have mostly bad news for you. You scored a -8.
I feel shamed.
How do you feel? Yeah, how do you feel?
I mean, I don't actually care.
I think that's right? Michael's feeling right there about the V-sit and reach really resonated for me. After all, the V-sit and reach has nothing to do with flexibility. Here's the reason. People have different proportions in their bodies.
Oh, like different sized legs and
different sized arms. So if you have longer legs and shorter arms, no matter what your actual flexibility is, you will numerically do worse in this challenge than somebody who struggles with flexibility. This is the moment where the test went from flimsy but not awful to completely broken for me. No test of humans should rely on perfect symmetry. That's insane. We're all different. Of course we are. Of course, right now feels like a good time to reiterate that this test was born out of the 50s and 60s, and that a lot has changed. At this point, we'd completed the mile, curl-ups, shuttle run, and V sit and reach, which meant it was time for the final challenge, pull-ups.
Pull-ups were something that were always really embarrassing because everyone watched while you did pull-ups. The whole class just stands there and stares at you while you do pull-ups.
We saved the last for best, so.
Oh, is this the last thing?
It is.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. 1, 2, 3. Oh,
You got it. Oh.
Nope. 3.
You ready?
Am I ready? Are you ready?
I think I'm ready.
Good start, good start. Dang, mister, I have a pull-up bar in the door of my office. Oh God. Oh God. This is upsetting.
Go.
Oh geez.
7.
7, dude. Was that what you were expecting?
In high school, I remember doing this, and I couldn't ever get over 2.
Dude, me neither.
So I feel really proud to have gotten 7. That's something I've never done.
Wait, even with your pull-up bar in your office doorway?
That's a PR that we just did.
You really on camera?
Yeah.
Dude, congratulations.
That was cool. And with the completion of pull-ups, it was time to tally our results to see if we had what it takes to make our president proud.
It's an honor to be able to help celebrate all that you young people have achieved.
Now, when comparing results, I thought it would be best if we compared our results against students from everyone's favorite decade, the 80s. So I found that radical 1985 test rubric to see how we stack up against those triumphant kids.
Chicago has knocked off the cab.
Michael, I officially have the results.
I gotta be honest, I'm mostly just terrified.
So as you can see, the way that they break down this rubric is by age. And so we have ages 6 through 17. So as we break these down, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tell you whether or not we qualified for the Presidential Fitness Award and what age we qualified for. So the first one was the mile.
I felt pretty good about the mile. I don't feel like I sucked at it.
You and I both essentially got the same score. You did beat me by a second. You got 10 minutes and 34 seconds. I got 10 minutes and 35 seconds. Together, we both did not qualify for the Presidential Fitness Award.
Significant disappointment.
What do you have to get?
The mile for the Presidential Fitness Award for children or students ages 6 is 10 minutes and 15 seconds. Literally 20 seconds faster than our time.
God damn it. So with like a little bit of training, we could do it.
Well, we could get the Presidential Fitness Award for 6-year-olds, yes.
For 6-year-olds? Dude, I'd take it.
For 17-year-olds, as a reference, the mile run is 6 minutes and 6 seconds.
What? What the heck was going on in the 80s that kids were this in shape?
They were beast mode. So the next one is the curl up. Michael, you got 20 curl ups. I got 23. You and I both did not qualify for the Presidential Fitness Award.
Significant disappointment.
You suck.
All right, Michael, are you ready to hear the sit and reach scores? With a score of -8.
God damn it. I hate this.
Now, this is where it gets interesting. The V sit and reach is the only one of these that has a curve to its abilities on its rubric. So whereas a 6-year-old to get the Presidential Fitness Award would need to get a plus 3.5, an 8-year-old only needs a plus 3. And so, with that being said, I did qualify for the Presidential Fitness Award for an 8 and 9-year-old.
Congratulations.
Oh, I'm really proud of you.
Thanks, man. We're halfway through. How are you feeling?
Terrible. It feels like the idea of this is that like this is the minimum that we need our citizens to be at in order to defend the country and like perform the labor our country needs. And I'm failing it. And like that feels bad.
Are you ready for the pull-up?
Yes.
Michael, you did qualify for the Presidential Fitness Award.
Congratulations.
You qualified for 6-year-olds.
Yeah.
This one, I actually qualified for a 13-year-old, which is...
That's a big step up.
That's pretty good, man. All right, the shuttle run. We both got a score of 10 seconds. We did qualify for the Presidential Fitness Award.
Yeah.
And not only that, we qualified for it at the age of 11 years old.
11-year-olds are pretty tough.
So, in all, I qualified as presidential in pull-ups, the V-sit and reach, and the shuttle run, while Michael qualified in pull-ups and the shuttle run. Not too shabby, although it is important in this moment to remind everyone that you have to have qualified as presidential in all 5 competitions in order to receive an award. Something I may not have mentioned to Michael until I was done reading the results.
What? They don't just give them for the individual ones?
No.
This is so stupid. They just really want to make everyone feel terrible. This is a bombshell to end on. I'm actually mad. For a second there, I had like somehow come around on this and like gone from the beginning of the video where I was like, Presidential Fitness Award to like, you know what? Maybe I do need to be in better shape. So now I'm like, no, fuck this. But what about you, Casey? Do you feel better or do you feel worse after having taken the Presidential Fitness Challenge?
I think, if I'm completely honest with myself, I had a lot of fun completing the challenges with Michael. And I saw some areas of my health that I could work on. But then I think about when I was a child taking this test and what it meant for me then. And for all of the people that I talked to while making this video, how it made them feel as children when they took this test.
For me, it was like a terrible inevitability. And also at that age, like you're embarrassed to just be alive.
I feel like the Presidential Fitness Test taught me in elementary school that I was not athletic and that I shouldn't try.
So if this test has had such a negative impact on students, and there's no data to support that it's led to stronger and healthier adults, why do we still have it? Well, we don't. Did you know that the test was actually canceled in 2014?
It was? It's no longer around?
During Barack Obama's presidency in 2014, the test was replaced by what's known as the Fitnessgram, a test that is more focused on helping students with their own health versus competing against their classmates.
I guess that my criticism is unfounded. Also, I'm grateful that children now don't have to go through this horror.
Yeah, but...
Oh, did it get worse after they canceled it?
The World Health Organization says the number of obese children and teens is now 10 times higher than it was 40 years ago due to poor nutrition and lack of exercise.
Since 2014, childhood obesity rates have continued their steady rise. But while childhood obesity rates are around 21%, or approximately 15 million US youths, there's one stat that I think is even more damning. The CDC found last year that 74% of US adults are overweight, including 43% who are considered obese. We've been looking for a solution for over 60 years. And in 2014, we essentially accepted that one of our biggest solutions was a complete failure. So what do we do now? How do we press forward? Well, maybe we're looking at the problem all wrong. How do you think that you would do at the Presidential Fitness Challenge? If you want to take it, take it. Let us know how you did. We want to hear from you. Also, check out this other video. I heard it's pretty good. Man, I'm really out of breath.